Hi, I'm Bryan, and this is Vinyl Paints. This is a very different type of video than what I normally make. And as I've said at the beginning of every one of my videos, I am not classically trained. I didn't go to animation school. I have no formal animation training or fine arts degree. Most of what I learned has been from examining my collection and reverse engineering it. It was always my intention to talk a little bit about cell collecting and animation in general, as well as kind of document my process of how I've been learning and how I'm trying to recreate these techniques of cell painting. With X-Men 97 coming out, I thought this would be a great excuse to revisit my collection and talk about my experience as a collector and what I've learned from my cells in my collection that have helped me in the process of becoming a cell painter. This is where it all started. This was the first cell I ever bought. Walking through the aisles of Fan Expo Toronto, I was just looking for original art. The idea of owning or buying an animation cell had never crossed my mind, and painting was not even a thought. I was hesitant to buy it. It had no Wolverine, had no Nightcrawler on it. The right show, maybe the wrong characters. I just wasn't sure if I wanted to spend that much money on something. But it came with the promise of a Stan Lee autograph, and that was enough to sway me in the direction of purchasing this cell. I also didn't know enough about animation cells to know what a rare find this is. I just saw an animation cell from a show that I loved. Looking back on it now, I really have a newfound appreciation for this, not only for being the one that started the collection, but for what it is, a great scene with 4 X-Men characters on original production background. Wolverine. I'd been collecting animation cells for about 2 years before I came across this one. I was pretty excited to finally have a Wolverine in my collection. Does having your cell signed add value? Maybe, maybe not. I look at it as a case-by-case basis. Some of my cells I do get signed, others I don't. I know there's a real divide in the animation cell collecting community where some believe that they should be signed and some shouldn't. What do you think? Sometimes I feel a bit like an archaeologist. I flipped this over to film the back of it for this video, and I noticed something that I had never noticed before, and that was that they put the dark tones down before the light tones, and you can see that in the head where the dark yellow is overlapped by the lighter yellow. And that was a real reassuring moment for me, because I often do this in my own cell paintings, and this was a great moment where I'm like, yes, I got it. You can't have an X-Men collection without Storm. This is the only cell I have of Storm. I've been looking for a Days of Future Past Storm for years. This one came without a background or anything else, just the cell. Also offers a great teaching moment. I've been struggling with my whites on my own cells, where I have to do multiple layers in order to get them opaque, and I noticed when I flipped this one over that they've actually put a bit of black along the back, and I bet you that's the animator's solution for solving transparency issues. Storm having white hair and a white costume, they probably would have run into that issue a lot, and that by putting the black that they could probably avoid most of the problems that they were having. Lady Deathstrike. Most international animation cell collectors will know the struggles of shipping. I can't say much about this cell, other than the fact that I bought it from the same vendor that I bought the Storm one from, and my main reason for purchase was to kind of make the cost of shipping more palatable. Somehow buying 2 cells and paying shipping once seemed better than just one. It's actually great to flip these cells over and be able to look at the back, just to kind of compare what the backs of these look like to my own paintings. It's great to see that I'm actually not far off from what they're supposed to look like. Maybe I use a little bit too much paint in certain places, but an absolute learning moment for me. I'm very happy to have this in my collection. It is a cell of Professor X and Magneto walking in the Savage Land. I really want to emphasize how amazing Magneto looks. I don't know if I do him justice here, but it's a smaller cell, and the detail, the crispness, and the colors are just amazing. Really happy to have this one in my collection. Nightcrawler. Bum bum bum. Nightcrawler and Wolverine are my favorite X-Men. I had given up hope ever getting a Nightcrawler cell. I just thought it was not going to happen. Wolverine's got a lot of episodes and has a lot of cells made, but Nightcrawler only appeared in 2 or 3 episodes. But I never actually expected to ever see a Nightcrawler cell. And then I found this one. I was thrilled when this one came up, and I'm very happy to have it in my collection. Old Soldiers is one of those episodes from the X-Men animated series that I remember. I remember every detail. I remember every story beat. I don't know why Captain America was not my favorite character, but I just felt like that episode was special. This is absolutely one of those museum pieces in my collection that I'm so happy I have. I never get tired of looking at this cell. I was lucky enough to get this signed by Cal Dodd, and it is my hope that I'm able to get Lawrence Spain to sign it as well. Old Soldiers is the only original line art I have from X-Men 92. I've used this as a learning tool for myself on how I approach making my own line art. I haven't really had a chance to go through my animation collection since I started painting. And it was quite a treat to be able to go through them and kind of experience them with fresh eyes and see what I've done right, what I did wrong. I learned a little, I've been inspired. I had a lot of fun doing this and using all the X-Wipes that I did. Just going through everything, it really reminds me of why I love animation so much and why it's so special. I look forward to doing this again in part 2. Thanks for joining me. I'm Bryan, and this is Vinyl Paints.